Your acting career is not moving as fast as you would like it to, and overall you just feel very stuck. You're not getting as many auditions as you deserve, and the ones that you do occasionally get aren't very good fits. What if I told you this is actually not your agent's fault, but your fault for having bad headshots? Well, I'm Tristan Spohn, a professional fake Oscar-winning actor, most known for bullying Millie Bobby Brown in Stranger Things, and today I'm going to give you the game plan I use to create eye-catching headshots that attract the auditions I'm perfect for. This is specifically targeted at actors who already have agents, but this game plan will also work for beginners who haven't taken professional headshots before. It'll just require a lot more self-discovery for you. So at the start of your career, you can get away with bad headshots because most of the non-union short films and student films have such a tiny little pool of actors to choose from. As long as you just match the age range and the ethnicity, you'll probably get an audition, which can delude you into thinking your headshots are better than they actually are. Because once you have an agent and then you go out for major film and television roles, it's a lot more selective as the number of high-quality actors submitting for these roles skyrockets. I had the privilege to actually chat with Nickelodeon casting director Nicole Doro as our special guest of my online acting school, the Acting Lab, and check out what she said about how many actors submit for every role.
I'll go through like a certain amount of tapes a day because we get thousands of tapes. My first round of going through submissions, I just go based upon the picture.
And if you'd love to see our full conversation, it's only available to our Acting Lab members. And if you'd like to sign up, check out the link below. With thousands of actors submitting per role, that means there are tens of thousands per project. They're not going through every single actor's profile. They're only going through the ones who, at that very first glance, have a headshot that matches the vibe of the character they're casting. And it's not full screen. Think of it as YouTube. In the same way that you choose the thumbnails that seem to offer the content you're looking for, they click the photos that seem to offer the character they're looking for. You can have the best performance video in the entire world that just perfectly captures this character better than any other actor in the world. And if your headshots are bland or don't show what is in that character, it might never even be seen. This is why you need to avoid the most common headshot mistake that I like to call the utility knife headshot. I guarantee a lot of you guys watching have this as your primary photo right now. The utility knife headshot is the photo that is ambiguous enough to be technically submitted for a wide range of different characters. The benefit of this is that it doesn't technically discount you for any character, but it also doesn't make you stand out for any character either. So now you're left with something bland enough to be considered, but not seasoned enough to actually be picked. Safe is boring, and it blends into the background. To stand out is to be bold. And even if boldness makes you wrong for some things, it makes you perfect for others. What is it that makes a bold headshot? A bold headshot is something with a striking color palette and specialized character. Something that doesn't just say edgy, but rather tortured bully whose dark side only hides a deeper insecurity. And the color palette matches the similar dark ambiance. It's the difference between these two photos. Photo number one is more reliant on the backdrop and the leather jacket to communicate edgy, whereas photo number two just screams one specific character. It's literally just number two, but with hair. The reason I wanted to use these two as an example is I'm sure you're thinking to yourself, photo one looks incredible. In some ways, it looks even better than photo number two. Both of them are displaying the different factors that make an incredible eye-catching headshot. Headshot number one isn't perhaps as strong of a character as headshot two, but the entire frame captures a very specific and gritty vibe. The intense shadows to the barbed wire fence in the background and this nice steely glare This headshot just feels like it was ripped out of a movie, and it makes it incredibly easy to picture me as being part of these very specific worlds, such as your Better Call Sauls, Narcoses, your True Detectives. Headshot number 2 has a background that's a lot more plain and simple, so it's not as clear the type of tone that I would fit into. But the benefit to that is it does also allow me to have this very specific character fit into infinite worlds that demand this specific typecast. Imagine if I combined these two photos together, how much that would pop out against all of these bland, ambiguous headshots. How much would it stand out against the utility knife expressions that are plain and the unengaging backgrounds, needing that tortured bully. I'm a no-brainer. Why would they not call me in? You might feel contradictory about this because, after all, these photos are outside. Aren't you supposed to be in a studio? Isn't this a big no-no? What separates these headshots from portraits is how blurry the background is. You never want the background to steal focus from you. You only want it to add to the vibe. This is why photos like this, for example, that many actors make the mistake of using, don't work. This is a beautiful photo. It's perfect for Instagram or IMDb, and we didn't ever intend for this to be used as a headshot. But notice how the background has very complex visible forms. This photo is meant to highlight the contrast between my suit and the broken down scrapyard behind me. Both of these are equally important, and so I'm no longer the sole focus. One of the reasons I personally love natural light headshots over studio headshots is the natural light always has just this more authentic vibe to it. Something always feels a little artificial, a little clinical in my opinion about studio lights. And I have done in-person casting director workshops where they did mention the exact same preference of natural light headshot over artificial headshot. Okay, now let's talk about the fit. Most headshot photographers are gonna offer you between 3 to 6 looks, which essentially just mean wardrobe and hair changes. You're also able to add hairstylists, makeup artists to the session that will help you further differentiate each look. This is a trap.
It's a trap!
Not literally, they do amazing work. It is worth it for a portrait session, not necessarily for a headshot session. Jenna Fisher talks about this in her book, The Actor's Life, which should be required reading for all of you. Casting directors expect you to look like your headshot. So if you're getting all glammed up without knowing how to recreate that look for the audition, it's going to come across as unintentionally deceptive. This is one of my all-time favorite photos of myself. To come across incredibly conceited and cringy, I look incredible. My hair has this perfect beach swept texture, and I got this slight contour to make my bone structure pop, all with a hired hairstylist and makeup artist. And I've never looked close to this good at any audition, and I have tried all of the sea salt sprays and never gotten my hair to look that perfectly textured. I'm setting myself up to just disappoint casting when I don't look anywhere near as good as I do in that photo. Also, at the same time, this is amazing for a character I'll probably never even be considered for. The heartthrob. I don't think any of y'all would think I'm giving cool, debonair heartthrob energy in this video. That's not to say look crusty and grimy. Men, learn how to do makeup. Less masculine to think it's emasculating than to just lean into it. You want to look your best in a way that's authentic to you, that will then mirror how you show up in the room. Now, let's get to the outfit. Does not fucking matter, I promise you. Way too many actors are relying on clothes to be what completely sell the character while sporting the blankest look possible. The only reason the outfit matters is to help you stand out against the backdrop and to flatter your eyes and skin tone. The character comes from the vibe, not from the clothes. Stop wearing your leather jackets to try and look cool and just sit in your fucking power, bro. And if you don't believe me, here are 2 headshots with the exact same outfit that you would never consider for the same role. I almost don't even look like the same person despite taking them 10 minutes apart with just a slight little angle change. And Here's a third one in the same clothes, completely different from those two. I didn't choose this outfit off the character, but the colors that I look great in. Blue makes my eyes pop. The purple lets me really stand out against the green background. These are also self-portraits that I took by myself at sunrise with only 30 minutes in one outfit. Yet I have more variation than most actors with 4 outfits in 90 minutes. I knew my character types that I thrive in and how to access them in a very simple way that I'm about to show. You should never just try to go in and look good. This seems like so obvious, but so many actors just don't do this. You need to treat these headshots like an audition tape, like a role that you prep for, and take actual time to get into the right headspace before just taking a bunch of photos. The simple but effective way is to create playlists for each character that will make it easier to slip into. And then most importantly, identify a relationship or person that brings this side out of you. And then all you have to do is look into the camera as if you're looking into this person's eyes and experience that feeling for the camera. So we're gonna take a quick little look at my headshot game plan now. And if you would actually like to get your own copy of this, you can download it for free whenever you get a free trial of my online acting school, Acting Lab. You can apply for the membership via the link and in the description. Okay, so we're gonna put this all into practice now. These are the headshots that some of them you've already seen before. This is the one that was the self-portrait series I did in 30 minutes, just using this process of going between the playlists I had created beforehand and then knowing who I was looking at when I was looking into the camera. That's how I created these very distinct characters very quickly. When you're creating this little headshot game plan, where I have the actual photos, you can just put a little box and then you can physically write all of this out, bring this with you to your headshot session, and then maybe even show your photographer so they can let you know, is it effective the way that it's coming across? So number 1, your primary typecast. This is what you're most likely to book. The tortured bully who takes his trauma out on others. It's a very specific typecast that I have planned out. And the relationship that will get me there is someone that humiliated me in front of the person I love the most. Number 2, secondary contrast. Second most likely to book that heavily contrasts the first and thus shows a heavy range between just 2 photos. The sweetly naive boy next door with a sheltered upbringing. Relationship that got me there. My lab partner I have a massive crush on from school. There's just something about this school crush that feels so innocent, and I knew that would bring the innocence out of me. Number 3, you. You want to have one that is just your distinct original personality, the most authentic version of yourself. For me, my most authentic version is a warm person willing to drop everything to help the people that he loves. Relationship, whoever makes you feel the most comfortable in your own skin. Number 4, your alternate primary typecast. This can be either a colder or a warmer version of that primary typecast. Same character, different lens. So for me, the cold and calculated wild card who thrives on causing chaos. Relationship, my sworn nemesis who's about to finally get what he deserves. Number 5, your alternate secondary. This can be also a colder or warmer version. Both of mine, I decided to go the colder route. So this one is the sensitive wallflower who lost some of his innocence along the way. Relationship, my best friend who betrayed my trust when I needed it the most. So still the sweet, innocent boy next door, but with some of that torture behind the eyes. Number 6 is your dream role. This is the role that you would love to play if the opportunity arises. Maybe it's not your strength, but if the opportunity comes up, you want to have something that you can capitalize on it with. For me, because I'm a huge rom-com addict, I would love to one day be the romantic lead that probably rides motorcycles. It's very far outside of me. I don't ever see myself actually being able to book something like that, but if the opportunity arises, I would love to. And the relationship, the love of my life, even if she doesn't know it yet. And then number 7, your 3/4 or full body shot. This is more so for your press kit. Whenever you book a role, they ask for a little press kit, which is just a bunch of photos and your specific measurements that they can use to have promotional materials with. It's just good to have this if you ever need a photo of yourself that shows off your physicality more. And if you get more than 7 photos, the rest can just be more alternates or more dream roles that you'd love to play. Again, if you want to pick up this headshot game plan for yourself, as well as a follow along copy where you can actually fill it in for yourself, you can download it for free whenever you start a free trial on my online acting school, The Acting Lab. Apply via the link in the description and pinned comment to see if you qualify. If you aren't super clear on your character type yet, then go check out this video.